Welcome back, YouTubers. UXO here. Today we're going to do something a little different. I've been prepping for about 15 years now. Not crazy prepping, but I've been doing a little bit more in the last couple of years because of this whole pandemic thing, and I've been prepping staples. I haven't been, I'm not prepping, 10,000 pounds of flour and 40,000 pounds of rice. So I have probably about 50 kilos of rice, which is 110, 115 pounds, 30, 40 pounds of sugar, probably about the same in macaroni and spices and all the little stuff, of course, I have. And now I'm starting to prepping some beans. So I wanted to do a video on what I've learned over my 15 years of doing it, which is by no means I'm an expert, but the way I do it and the way it seems to work. Because not too long ago I opened up one of my rices from 2012 and one of my macaroni packs from 2012, and we had them and they taste just like I bought them yesterday. So it must work. I mean, the normal way I do things is Mylar bags, 5-gallon buckets. Within the buckets though, I double. So I put the 5-gallon Mylar bags in the bucket, and then I put my 1-gallon bags inside that Mylar bag. I know it's overkill. I usually don't seal the 5-gallon one. They're zip-locked, so I don't seal them. So it's just for protection. I'm in my my basement. I have a rear ranch, or whatever you call it. And so this is about a 5-foot basement part, which I have my storage in. It's great. It's cool down here all year round. It's dark, no moisture. So I do have a dehumidifier behind us that keeps the relative humidity stable. So I've had no problems. I mean, we've been in this house for 3 or 4 years now, so I have no problems with anything. So with further ado, we're going to take them out of here. We're going to inspect them to make sure there's no holes in them, because they say that the bugs burrow holes and lay eggs inside. So we're going to quickly inspect them. Not all of them at once, but each bag as we do it. It says that we should use 400 cc's in each 1-gallon bag. I have 300 cc's, so I'm going to use 2 in each one. And then we're going to use the vacuum sealer to remove most of the air out of the bag. And then the oxygen absorbers are going to go in, and then we're going to heat seal the tops, and then leave them for a few days to make sure that they all compress. So let's get started. So I got these 5 kilo red dark kidney beans. I'm only going to put out as many as I'm going to use initially per bag. And I'm going to quickly look at, I mean, we're not going to see 100%, but if we see anything that looks weird, we're going to take it out. And like I said, or I don't know if I said this, but there's 2 ways to kill these mites or keep them at bay. One is to freeze them, and the other one is to deny them of oxygen. So we're going to do the denial of oxygen. So I was going to use my Ziploc Mylar bags. These are 9.4 mil, so they're quite thick. And but I'm going to use my non-Ziploc ones. These are a little bit thinner. I think they're 5 something mil. So they're still pretty heavy duty for the Mylar. So we're going to put about 2 cups, I believe. We'll see how much 2 cups is in here. Maybe it won't be enough. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to put 4 cups in. Okay, we're done. We got 8 bags of roughly 1.2 kilos, which is 2.5 pounds, a little bit over 2.5 pounds each bag. So what we're going to do is, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to seal the top part of the bag about 3/4, just enough to be able to get the oxygen absorbers in. I'm going to put 2 oxygen absorbers in each one. Then I'm going to seal it right to the very tip, just enough to get the vacuum sealer hose in. We're going to drain all the oxygen, all the air out of the bag as best we can. Then we're going to seal it right underneath the hose and let the oxygen absorbers do the rest of the removal of the oxygen. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I like to work on the floor, it's just easier. Plus there's not a lot of headroom in here, and I'm, you know, almost 6 foot, so I'm always bent over up there. So like I said, we're going to seal up the bags with the wife's curling iron that I confiscated. Works great for a hair straightener, sorry, not curling iron. So let me just move that camera down. So all we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to leave about 1/4 of it open to get the oxygen absorber in. So I have this set for 300, and about 10 seconds holding it in each spot, and I work my way from, you know, leave enough space for the oxygen absorber, 10, and then move back. And then I usually just grab it at the end and do a swipe to make sure. And I try to keep it above the rip line. So now I have enough space to put the oxygen absorber in, so I'll do the rest of the bags. So just a quick point when you're doing these, when you're sealing them, you want to make sure that this edge is wrinkled free and as straight as possible. Because what you don't want is, you don't want wrinkles and stuff in the seal, because it may not seal properly. So you always want to sort of bend it over, you know, straighten it out with your hand. And then, like I said, just apply, you know, pressure for about 10 seconds with the hair straightener. And you see that's pretty straight, and then that's why at the end what I do is I put it back on it and I sort of, you know, rub it along to get any of the wrinkles. And you can probably see that it's pretty wrinkle free. Let's just make sure you got a good seal between the bag ends. Okay, now that we got them all sealed, I have my open bags of oxygen absorbers in mason jars, and you know, they work great as long as once it's closed, you get the seal to pop in. You know they're not going to go bad. So now we're going to do this fairly as quick as we can, but we're not going to be able to, you know, do it instantaneously, because I'll keep having to open the jar. So I'll put all the oxygen absorbers in and then quickly seal them up just to the end, and hopefully, you know, I'm putting 2 in each one, so yeah, good seal. So these are 300 cc's, like I said. It says it calls for 400, so I'm going to end up putting 600 in. You can never go wrong with a little bit of overkill with the oxygen absorbers. And we should probably hear that click in a few minutes. So now I'm going to use my old, this thing I've had for at least 12, 13 years, Food Saver. Still works great. We're going to remove as much of the oxygen we can out of the bags, and then the oxygen absorbers are going to do the rest. So how I usually do it is take the hose, put it into the end. See that? The hose is down there, and I take the curling iron or the hair straightener and I'll seal the rest of it up right to it. Just quickly, it's not going to be, I'll go over after once I seal it completely. And then we're going to put it on canister. So it doesn't take all the oxygen out of it, or all the air, but it takes most of it out. So you can still, you know, manipulate it, flatten it down a bit for packing. And you can see how much extra space now that I have. So when I open this up, I'll be able to reseal it if I have to. Actually, I don't know if you just heard the lid pop, but it just popped. So that's sealed again. Was that a minute? So now I'm gonna ensure the end part is sealed completely. There we go. So I got 7 more bags to do, and we'll be right back. Okay, the last bag, I'll do another show. So with the beans, what I figured out was that it's better to push the tube right down into the bean area, because it's not going to suck any beans up, or if you're doing, you know, wheat or rice, you wouldn't want to do that. But with this, I find it works better. You put the hose all the way into the beans to suck out the air. Good time to go to flatten the bag down if you want to. So it's not one big lump at the bottom. You can see how good that is. You can see my tube is all the way down there. And then we'll push it up near the top so that we get the last bit of the air out. Works also well. You can just pinch it where the hose was coming out. So there you go. I mean, it takes a little bit more time, but you end up with, I mean, this one's got a little bit more air, but the oxygen absorbers will come back tomorrow and we'll take a look at them. But normally they go that, just like that, nice and already oxygen free in there. Like I said, it takes a little bit more time, but I think in the long run, it's much better preserved, because you're not just counting on the oxygen absorbers to take the oxygen out. You're removing probably 90% of the oxygen with the machine. And hopefully the oxygen absorbers will remove the last 10% of air, or well, not air, oxygen. So we'll come back tomorrow and we'll see what they look like. I'll come back, it's the next day, and the couple of packs that had a little bit of air left in them from yesterday, as you can see, they're fully vacuum sealed now with all the oxygen out of them. So the oxygen absorbers did their job. So what I got over here is my 5-gallon bucket with my large Mylar bag, and I've already got the remaining packs in there. So now that I know they're all sealed, I'm gonna pack them away inside this second Mylar bag is only to protect these inner bags. That's all. Nothing. I'm not gonna seal it. I'm just gonna fold it in there. Of course, on each pack, I marked what it was and the date that it was packed. You don't want to forget to do that. And then on the outside of the bucket, I'll do the same. And what I do, I don't know if it's required, but I put a couple of Descent packs just inside the bucket, just to help keep any moisture out. Like I said, I'm just going to fold this up. I'd rather spend a few extra dollars and put it in a second bag than to come back 10 or 15 years later and find that they're all bad. And these are the Gamma lids. Of course, you can buy online. They're really good because if you want to open that up, you can just unscrew instead of trying to break the seal of the other buckets. You can just unscrew it. It gives it a good airtight seal. Well, I think it may even be waterproof. So that's it. The last part is I'm going to put a label on the bucket and store it back there on the bottom shelf, and hopefully it will be good, for 20 years or so. I mean, the point of prepping is hopefully you never have to use it. But if you have to, you have it. I mean, the long-term stuff that I'm doing in buckets, I don't really plan to use. So some people say it's a waste of money. I think it's peace of mind personally. That if something goes, something goes wrong, or I'm not even talking about, worldwide calamity. I'm talking a couple of days power outage, an ice storm, who knows, civil unrest. So that's the end of this video. If you like, please subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos on prepping. Thanks, have a great day.